Welcome, dear friend. I'm so glad you've chosen to spend this time here in this quiet, gentle space. Wherever you are right now, maybe wrapped in a soft blanket, nestled in your favorite chair, or lying down in a peaceful spot, I invite you to settle in fully. Take a deep breath with me, slowly in and gently out. Let your body relax and your mind soften. Tonight, we will travel back thousands of years to ancient Egypt, where the warm sun kissed great stones and the calm flow of the Nile guided daily life. Together, we'll explore the story of the pyramids, not just as towering monuments, but as part of the steady, humble lives of the people who built them. A story of quiet strength, gentle rhythms, and timeless wonder. If you find yourself enjoying this calm journey, please consider liking and subscribing, so more people can find this cozy corner and be invited into these peaceful stories. So close your eyes if you'd like, or let your gaze soften. Feel the slow, peaceful beat of your breath. And now, let's begin this cozy journey together. You wake before the sun has even begun to stretch its golden fingers across the desert sky. The air is cool, but dusty, a hint of earth and stone mingled with the faint, sweet scent of date palms from the nearby oasis. Your feet touch the rough sand beneath the simple sandals you've worn many seasons. Today, like many days before, you're headed to the worksite where the pyramid rises slowly, block by heavy block. You are not a slave. You are a civilian of this land, born into the rhythm of this kingdom and its duties. Your ancestors built this land, and you belong to this grand story. Building the pyramid is part of your role, a calling that is both a burden and a strange kind of pride. It's what you do, it's what your neighbors do. It's what keeps the kingdom strong and the gods pleased. The village is stirring quietly as you pass through. Children yawn, rubbing sleep from their eyes, while women start the morning bread fires. The sun, still low, casts long shadows on mud brick walls. You greet a few familiar faces, some older men already limbering up their shoulders for the day ahead, others loading simple packs of dried fish and flatbread to bring with them. The narrow streets are familiar but uneven underfoot. Dust rises in small clouds with every step, and the occasional braying of donkeys blends into the morning chorus of birdsong. You catch the scent of fresh beer brewing somewhere near the communal ovens, thick and sour, promising a welcome drink once the sun dips lower. Walking toward the worksite, the murmurs grow louder. The low hum of early voices, the creak of wooden sledges being readied, the distant clack of stone tools striking rock. The scent of sweat, dust, and baked clay fills your nostrils, blending with the dry warmth that will soon envelope everything. You adjust the cloth wrapped around your head to shield against the impending sun. The road itself is rough, a trail beaten down by countless footsteps and heavy loads. On either side, the vast desert stretches out, endless sands shimmering faintly in the morning light. But your eyes are fixed on the horizon, where the pyramid slowly emerges. At this hour, it's a mysterious silhouette, immense and daunting, like a mountain formed by human hands. As you approach, the site buzzes with activity. Thousands of workers are already gathered, some chatting quietly while others move with practiced rhythm. The overseers, their linen kilts spotless and their eyes sharp, stand watch from shaded platforms, silently commanding order. They carry staffs or scrolls, signs of their authority. You blend in with the crowd, your clothes simple but clean, a linen tunic that's seen better days, sturdy sandals, and the wrap to protect you from dust and sun. The heat is still a promise, but you know it will rise quickly, making the day's labor heavy and unforgiving. Your hands are calloused from years of toil, but today feels heavier. Maybe it's the early hour, or the sight of the massive stones waiting to be moved. Each block weighs tons, carved from distant quarries and dragged here on wooden sledges greased with water and palm oil. The sheer scale of the task is humbling. You find your place among the other workers. Some are younger, eager or resigned, others older, their faces etched with lines of sun and hardship. You exchange quiet nods, no need for many words when the work itself speaks loudest. Today, like every day, the sun will climb high and your body will ache by evening. But you are not alone. There is a shared rhythm here, a steady pulse that connects you to those around you and to generations before who laid stones in this very sand. You think of your family, your children, your spouse, waiting back in the village, their lives intertwined with the success of this monumental effort. Nearby, a group of women sing softly, their voices weaving through the morning air like a gentle thread of hope. They chant prayers to the gods for protection and strength, their words a reminder of the divine purpose behind the labor. The pyramid is not merely stone and sweat, it is a bridge between mortal life and eternity. The overseer calls out a brief command in a voice sharp but not cruel. The crowd stirs, some gathering tools, others lining up to haul the sledges. You lift your shoulders and begin to move with the flow. The worksite is a world unto itself. Dust swirls in the dry air, kicked up by countless feet and rolling stones. The sound is a constant backdrop, grunts of effort, the scraping of wood on sand, the distant hammering of chisels shaping blocks. Somewhere nearby, a priest chants softly, his voice carrying ancient prayers to the gods who watch over this place. You can feel the sun beginning to rise higher now, its heat pressing down like a weight. Your skin tingles beneath the cloth covering your head, sweat beads at your temples, but you don't stop. There is no time for stopping, not yet. For a moment, your mind drifts. You remember the story told by your father about how the pyramid is more than just stone and labor. It is a bridge between earth and sky, between the mortal and the divine. The king, Pharaoh, will rest here, guided by these stones into eternity. Your work is part of that sacred journey. You glance around at the faces of those working beside you, some grim, some quietly hopeful, others resigned to the weight of the day ahead. Despite the hardships, there is an unspoken camaraderie, a bond formed through shared struggle and purpose. The desert wind stirs briefly, cool and fleeting, carrying with it the promise of respite. You take a deep breath, the dusty air filling your lungs, grounding you in this moment. You are here, you are part of this living monument, but the day is young and the pyramid waits. The sun has climbed higher, spilling its bright light across the bustling pyramid worksite. The warmth is already pressing against your skin, but for now, the morning air holds a gentle coolness that you soak into your lungs. Before you lie the tools you'll depend on today, the simple, worn instruments that will test your strength, your patience, and your skill. You kneel to pick up a wooden hammer, its handle smooth and darkened by years of use. The weight settles in your hand like an old friend, heavy but familiar. The hammer is your voice here, your way of commanding the stone. Beside it rests a bronze chisel, its sharp edge catching the sunlight with a dull gleam. It's not sharp like a dagger, it's blunt, designed to chip rather than slice, to coax the limestone to break on your terms, not shatter in frustration. These tools are humble, passed down and shared between workers like you, their surfaces marked by countless strikes and scars. They carry the story of the many hands that came before, workers who knew every grain of dust and every crack in the stone. Today, your task is clear. Quarry the limestone blocks that will become the skeleton of the pyramid. The quarry is a few miles away, but it's more than just a physical distance. It's a place of relentless labor and precision. You'll wield your hammer and chisel not just to break rock, but to carve out perfect blocks, the building blocks of eternity. Standing among your fellow workers, you take in the scene. The quarry is alive with sound, the steady tap of chisels on stone, the grunts of effort, the scrape of wooden sledges sliding over packed earth, and the occasional sharp call of an overseer. Your ears tune to the rhythm, it's a cadence as old as this land itself. The tools you carry are extensions of your body. Your hands know how to grip the hammer just right to deliver a blow that chips the limestone without cracking it too deeply. Your arms, though tired and aching, move with a practiced precision born from countless days under the same burning sun. Nearby, a group of workers have rigged a sled, a heavy wooden platform without wheels, ready to transport the stone blocks. They slick the runners with water and palm oil, a clever technique passed down to reduce friction and ease the impossible weight. Watching them, you feel a surge of respect for the ingenuity hidden in such simple methods. The midday heat presses down now, relentless and unforgiving. The sun burns through the cloth wrapped around your head, but it offers some relief against the searing rays. Sweat runs down your back, stinging your eyes and soaking your tunic. Your hands, already rough and calloused, become slick with a mix of sweat and dust. Despite this, the work continues. Each strike of your hammer is purposeful, deliberate. You are not merely breaking stone, you are shaping history. Every carefully carved block is a step toward the gods and the eternal resting place of Pharaoh. The work is physically demanding, yes, but there is also a mental endurance at play. The monotony can dull the senses, the repetition grinding away at your focus. Still, you find moments of quiet meditation in the rhythm, the steady, hypnotic tap-tap-tap of hammer against chisel, the scraping of stone, the murmured prayers of those nearby. During a brief pause, you sit on the sun-baked ground and look at your tools, feeling the worn grooves in the wood and the coolness of the bronze. These are not just tools, they are lifelines. They connect you to the skilled artisans who shape the temples and statues, to the foremen who organize the work, and to the generations of workers who have built this land. You pull out a small piece of flatbread from your satchel, dry but filling, and a sip of sour barley beer brewed by the women back in your village. The bread is coarse and crumbly, the beer thick and tangy, a humble but precious respite. As you eat, you listen to the chatter around you, snatches of conversations about families, village news, and prayers for safety. The overseers, dressed in crisp linen and wielding staffs, keep a watchful eye. Their commands come sharp and brief, but rarely harsh. They remind you that though this work is grueling, it is also sacred. Your efforts honor the gods, sustain the kingdom, and ensure the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. With the break over, you stand and tighten the cloth around your head. The tools feel heavy once more in your hands. As you return to your place among the workers, you glance at the massive pyramid, its gleaming limestone face catching the sunlight. Each block you shape brings you closer to that shining monument, a symbol of eternity built by your hands. The heat intensifies, and your muscles scream in protest. Yet, the shared determination of the workers surrounds you. You think of your family back in the village, the children who will sleep peacefully tonight because of your toil, the ancestors who guide your hands from beyond. There is a strange comfort in this shared purpose, a sense that even in hardship, you are part of something greater. The day stretches on, long and unforgiving, but steady. Your hammer rises and falls in time with the beat of the desert sun. The stone yields slowly, each block carved not by force, but by care, patience, and will. As the sun begins its slow descent, casting long shadows over the site, you take a final glance at your tools. They are battered, but ready for tomorrow. They will be your voice and strength once again. In this land of stone and sun, your hands shape more than rock. They shape a legacy. You pause for a moment, the hammer resting lightly in your hand, and look up from the dust and grit of your work. There it stands, the pyramid, not a distant silhouette anymore, but a towering presence that fills your entire field of vision. The early morning shadows have faded, and the structure basks in the relentless desert sunlight, its gleaming limestone blocks reflecting a blinding white glow. It's hard to believe this immense shape is entirely man-made. The pyramid rises like a mountain forged by human hands, a monument so vast and precise it seems almost otherworldly. You feel small beside it, a single grain of sand beneath the monumental stones. The sheer scale is overwhelming. Each block you help carve, each stone you haul or position, is just a tiny piece of this colossal puzzle. When you think about the time it will take to complete, the countless workers who have come before and those who will follow, a slow awe washes over you. You recall the stories whispered among the workers that this pyramid is not just a tomb, but a gateway, a bridge between the earthly realm and the divine heavens. The pharaoh's spirit will travel this path, ascending through the layers of stone to join the gods and live forever in the afterlife. Your labor, sweat, and even your aches are part of this sacred journey. The pyramid's smooth, angled sides create sharp lines against the sky, and you can almost see the geometry behind it, the exact calculations, the knowledge of astronomy and mathematics that the builders wield like magic. It's a testament to skill and organization, to the unyielding will of your civilization. From your vantage point near the base, You can see the workers climbing wooden scaffolds and ramps that spiral upwards, tiny figures against the vast stone. Some carry tools, others push sledges with blocks balanced precariously. The air is thick with dust, and the sounds of effort, grunts, shouted instructions, the scrape of wood and stone. Your eyes trace the pyramid's edges upward, wondering how many stories it will have when complete. How many hands have touched these stones, how many lives woven into this silent monument. Despite the beauty, the pyramid is a harsh taskmaster. Its size reminds you of the burden on your shoulders, the weight not only of the stones, but of expectation, duty, and the god's gaze. There is no room for mistakes here. Each stone must fit perfectly, every corner aligned with divine precision. The workers around you speak quietly of the pyramid's growing height, their voices a mixture of pride and weariness. Some whisper superstitions that the pyramid holds protective power, that its shadow wards off evil spirits. Others joke quietly about the endless work, the blistered hands, the aching backs. You can feel the pulse of the pyramid beneath your feet, a steady vibration of human toil and devotion. It is a living thing, a creation born of sweat and stone, sun and sand, and you are part of it. As the sun climbs higher, the heat intensifies. The limestone beneath your sandals warms, and the air thickens with dust. You wipe your brow again, shielding your eyes from the glare. The workers form lines, preparing to lift and move the next massive block into place. You step forward to join them, muscles tightening as you brace for the effort. The block is heavier than anything you've carried before, its rough surface scraping against your skin as you grip it. The sledges creak, the ropes strain, and the group moves slowly but steadily. There is an unspoken coordination, a harmony of breath, effort, and will. Every person pulls, pushes, and lifts in time, understanding that failure here means injury or delay, and delay means displeasure from the overseers and the gods. The block inches forward, sliding over the oiled runners with a grinding sound that echoes across the site. Your legs burn, your back aches, but you hold steady. This stone will find its place among thousands of others, fitting into the grand design that stretches to the sky. During a brief pause, you look back at the path you've traveled that morning, the road from the village, the quarry, the worksite alive with activity. The pyramid looms over it all, a constant reminder of the scale of your task. You feel a strange mixture of humility and pride. Humble because this monument is greater than any one person. Proud because your hands have helped shape it, even if only in a small way. Nearby, the temple priests walk slowly, their robes flowing and their expressions solemn. They offer blessings and prayers, their chants mingling with the sounds of labor. Their presence reinforces the sacred nature of this work, that you are not merely building a tomb, but a spiritual gateway. As the day progresses, shadows lengthen across the pyramid's face. The heat begins to relent, replaced by the cooler breeze that sweeps the desert floor. The workers gather for a brief moment of rest, exchanging quiet words, wiping dust and sweat, drinking from water skins. You take a moment to breathe deeply, your chest rising and falling in rhythm with the slow pulse of the desert. You look up once more at the pyramid, now glowing softly in the fading light. The pyramid waits. It always waits, vast, silent, eternal. And you, caught between the past and the future, between the mortal and the divine, continue your place within its story. You rise before dawn, your muscles already aching from yesterday's work, but the call of the quarry pulls you forward. Today, like many days, you will leave the village behind and travel the dusty path to where the earth is carved open, where the limestone blocks, those massive stones that become the pyramid, are hewn from the bedrock. The path is long, winding through sand and scrub, the landscape stretching wide and empty, except for the occasional palm or cluster of reeds near the river's edge. The sun hasn't yet kissed the horizon, and the air is cool against your skin, carrying the faint scent of damp earth mixed with the sharp tang of stone. The journey itself is a test. Your sandals scrape against rocks and hardened sand, your feet dusted with grit that settles in every crevice. You move with the others in a slow procession, silent, focused, each step measured for endurance. Conversations are sparse. The work ahead demands mental preparation as much as physical. When you arrive, The quarry unfolds before you like an open wound in the earth. Massive blocks of limestone lay scattered, some freshly cut, others awaiting their turn to be moved. The soundscape is a mix of sharp hammer strikes, the scraping of sledges, and the low murmurs of men coordinating their efforts. The limestone here is rough and pale, chalky under the fingertips, dust rising in clouds whenever a chisel bites into its surface. You approach your assigned block and grip the worn wooden handles of your hammer and chisel, feeling the rough texture and the steady weight that roots you to the task. The work is relentless. With each strike, a small chip falls away. With each careful movement, the block takes shape. It's slow and exacting labor. One wrong blow could crack the stone and ruin the effort of days. You feel the rhythm. Strike, chip, shift, strike, chip, shift. Your body moves as one with the tools, your breath timed with the work. Around you, others labor too. Some sing low chants to keep their spirits, others work in silence, faces set with determination. The overseers watch from a distance, their eyes sharp, occasionally stepping in to adjust technique or correct mistakes. You know the importance of their gaze, they carry the authority of the pharaoh and the gods. The sun climbs higher and higher, beating down on the open quarry like a furnace. The heat is stifling, and the dust rises thick around you, coating your skin and settling in your throat with every breath. Sweat streams down your back, mingling with the limestone dust to form a gritty paste. Despite the exhaustion, there's a strange beauty here. The light plays off the white stone, casting sharp shadows that dance with the movement of the workers. The sound of chisels and hammers blends into a kind of song, a testament to human endurance and will. Your hands grow raw and blistered, the skin breaking beneath the constant pressure. You try to ignore the ache in your shoulders and the tightness in your legs. There's no room for weakness here. When the block is finally shaped to perfection, a cheer rises quietly among your team, a moment of shared pride. The stone is ready to be moved, to begin its journey toward the pyramid. But moving it is no easy feat. The sledges must be carefully positioned beneath the block, the runners slicked with water and palm oil to ease the tremendous friction. Ropes are tied and the workers line up, muscles tense and ready. Together you pull, the weight of the stone pressing down like a mountain on your shoulders. The sled grinds slowly over the packed earth, each step a battle against gravity and fatigue. Your breath comes in short gasps, your legs burning, your back aching. The journey from the quarry to the pyramid is arduous but necessary. Each block is precious, a piece of the eternal puzzle you help assemble. As the sun reaches its peak, a brief respite is called. You sit in the shade of a nearby rock, wiping sweat and dust from your face. Your fingers ache, your body begs for rest, but your mind turns to the village, your family waiting, the bread baking in the communal ovens, the stories told by the elders. The day stretches long and demanding, but you find strength in small moments. The laughter shared over a sip of sour beer, the quiet nod of encouragement from a fellow worker, the glimpse of the pyramid rising in the distance. As the sun begins to dip and shadows lengthen, the work slows. You look back at the quarry, now quieter, the stones resting in their places, ready for the next day's labor. Your body is weary beyond measure, but your spirit remains tied to this land and this sacred task. The quarry is more than a place of toil. It is where the dream of eternity is carved, block by block, by hands like yours. You rise slowly, ready to make the journey home, carrying not just your body's fatigue, but the weight of history itself. The sun climbs high and relentless across the vast Egyptian sky, and your muscles ache with the weariness of long hours spent shaping stone and hauling blocks. But at last, the overseers call for a break, a brief respite from the grinding labor that has defined your day. You welcome the pause like a cool breeze in the desert heat, a chance to sit, breathe, and momentarily set down the tools that have become an extension of your body. Finding shade beneath a simple wooden shelter or the sparse canopy of a fig tree, you settle among your fellow workers. The air is thick with dust, sweat, and the scent of baked earth, but here, in this fleeting quiet, the world softens. The hammer's tap fades to a distant echo, replaced by murmured conversations and the soft rustling of cloth. You reach into your satchel and pull out a piece of coarse flatbread, its surface cracked and uneven from the clay oven. The bread is dense and grainy, made from emmer wheat grown in the fields near your village. It's humble food, but nourishing fuel for the body worn thin by labor. Alongside the bread, you have a small flask of sour beer, brewed from barley by the women of your village. It's thick and tangy, with a faint hint of bitterness, but it quenches your thirst and warms your spirit. You share a swig with a nearby worker, exchanging tired smiles and quiet nods of camaraderie. As you eat, your eyes wander across the rest area. Men and women lean against sun-warmed stones, wiping sweat from their brows or nursing sore hands. Some laugh softly at a joke shared in low voices. Others sit in contemplative silence, gazing toward the shimmering pyramid that towers in the distance. In this moment, you feel the bonds of community, stronger than the relentless sun or the endless work. The workers around you are not just colleagues. They are your neighbors, friends, and family. Your lives are woven tightly together, connected by the shared purpose of building something eternal. The overseers occasionally stride through the shade, their presence a reminder that this is no ordinary rest. They speak softly to the group, offering words of encouragement or quick instructions before moving on. There is no cruelty here, only the firm knowledge that the day's work must continue. You listen to the snippets of conversation that drift your way, the talk of crops, the coming festival, a new child born in the village. These small pieces of life ground you, reminding you of the world beyond the quarry and the worksite. A woman nearby unwraps a bundle of dried fish, offering a small piece to a child playing at her feet. The child's laughter rings clear and bright, a sharp contrast to the heavy labor and dust. It is a sound you carry with you, a reminder of why you endure. Your body aches, a deep weariness settling into your bones, but the rest fuels a quiet strength. The bread fills your stomach, the beer cools your throat, and the shade offers relief from the burning sun. You close your eyes for a brief moment, feeling the warmth seep into your skin, the steady pulse of life around you. The desert wind stirs, carrying with it the scent of distant dates and the faint melody of temple chants from nearby. You inhale deeply, the air thick with the mixture of sweat, dust, and a hint of something sacred. Though this pause is brief, it is vital. It recharges your body and spirit for the hours yet to come. The pyramid still waits, and so do your hands, ready to continue the ancient dance of labor and creation. As the break draws to a close, you stand, stretching limbs stiff from stillness. You look once more toward the pyramid, its gleaming face now glowing under the afternoon sun. The moment of rest fades, but the sense of shared purpose lingers. You return to your place among the workers, the tools heavy in your hands once again. The sun will set soon, but the work marches on, relentless and necessary. For now, you carry the warmth of this rest with you, a quiet comfort amid the dust and stone, a fleeting oasis in the endless desert day. As the heat of the day presses on, you find yourself keenly aware of the invisible lines that divide the workers around you. Though you and thousands of others share the grueling labor of building the pyramid, not everyone here bears the same burden or holds the same power. The social hierarchy of this grand project is as carefully constructed as the stones you move. You are a civilian, a craftsman, laborer, or farmer conscripted to the task by the rhythms of ancient Egyptian life. Unlike slaves, who are bound by chains and forced into servitude, your role is part of the natural order, a duty owed to the pharaoh and the gods. It is a responsibility accepted with resignation, pride, or a complex mixture of both. Around you, the overseers stand apart. Clad in crisp white linen kilts, their garments clean despite the dust and sweat surrounding the site. Their eyes are sharp and commanding. They carry wooden staffs or papyrus scrolls, symbols of their authority. From elevated platforms shaded by woven palm fronds, they watch the work unfold, their gaze unrelenting. You catch snippets of their conversations, clipped commands, observations about progress, and occasional reprimands. They hold the power to assign tasks, enforce order, and mete out punishment for mistakes or disobedience. Yet they are not cruel tyrants. Many are seasoned workers themselves, promoted through experience and loyalty to Pharaoh's cause. Nearby, skilled artisans and stonecutters operate with a quiet confidence. Their tools are more refined, their techniques precise, their movements practiced and efficient. They are the masters of their craft, respected for their knowledge and skill. While you labor with the heavy hammer and sledge, they carve intricate details, shaping statues and reliefs that will adorn temples and tombs. Even among the workers, status varies. Younger men often perform the heaviest tasks, hauling blocks, dragging sledges, and working in the blazing sun. Older men might guide or assist, their roles shifting with age and ability. Some women, too, play essential parts, preparing food, brewing beer, and supporting the workforce in countless ways. The priests hold a distinct place in this hierarchy. Clad in fine linens and adorned with jewelry, they move through the site with solemn grace. Their chants and rituals sanctify the work, reminding all that this is a sacred endeavor, not mere construction. Their presence imbues the site with a spiritual weight that humbles even the strongest worker. You have heard stories of the pharaoh himself, a god-king who commands the devotion of all. The pyramid is his eternal resting place, a monument to his power and divine journey. To serve in building this tomb is to serve the gods themselves. Despite these divisions, there is an underlying current of solidarity. The workers share hardships, frustrations, and the fleeting joys of their daily lives. Bonds form in the shadows of the pyramid, woven through shared effort and mutual dependence. Occasionally, you catch the eye of an overseer who offers a nod of approval, a rare but meaningful gesture. It is a reminder that your work matters, that your sweat contributes to something greater than yourself. Still, the weight of the hierarchy is ever present. Mistakes are not easily forgiven. Delays can bring harsh consequences. The overseers enforce discipline with swift authority, and though violence is rare, it is always a threat. You understand your place in this vast machine. You are part of the great tide of workers, moving stones under the watchful eyes of those who govern the site. You bear your role with quiet resolve, knowing that this labor connects you to your ancestors, your community, and the eternal legacy of Egypt. As the sun begins to lower, casting long shadows over the pyramid's gleaming face, you take a moment to reflect. This hierarchy, rigid yet necessary, shapes the rhythm of the work and the lives it touches. You are a small part of a grand design, a single stone in the foundation of history. The sun is unrelenting, its rays beating down on your skin like a hammer on stone. Your muscles scream, your joints ache, and your body teeters on the edge of exhaustion. The work has worn you down, each day a battle between will and physical limits. You've come to know the ache in your back, the sting of blisters on your hands, and the relentless dust that clings to every pore. Injuries are common here. The limestone blocks you shape and move weigh tons, and the tools you wield, though humble, can be unforgiving. One misplaced swing, one slip, and a hammer can crack a finger, a chisel can gouge flesh. You've seen men limp away with twisted ankles, others nursing deep cuts, their wounds hastily wrapped in strips of cloth. You remember the sharp sting when you caught your hand between two stones, the hot rush of blood, and the burning pain that followed. For a moment, panic gripped you. What if the injury was worse? What if you couldn't continue? But you wrapped the wound yourself, biting back tears, knowing that stopping meant falling behind. Fatigue is a constant shadow. It drapes over your shoulders like a heavy cloak, sapping strength and dulling focus. The relentless repetition, the same motions, day after day grinds down even the strongest spirit. Your legs tremble, your breath comes short and shallow, but you push on, driven by duty and the knowledge that many depend on your labor. The midday sun intensifies your struggle. Heatstroke is a silent enemy. You feel dizzy sometimes, your vision blurring at the edges. Your heart pounds erratically, sweat pours, and nausea threatens. Yet rest is brief and work must continue. There is no room for weakness, no luxury for pause. Failures haunt the worksite as much as the injuries. You hear the frustrated curses when a block fractures improperly, ruining hours or days of effort. Mistakes are costly here, in both time and resources. Overseers watch closely, their eyes sharp for any sign of faltering. The pressure to perform perfectly weighs on every worker's mind. You recall the moment when a block you helped carve cracked beyond repair. The overseer's sharp voice echoed in your ears, a mix of disappointment and warning. The men around you fell silent, the weight of failure pressing down as heavily as the stone itself. That day you worked harder, pushing your body beyond what you thought possible to make up for the loss. Despite the pain and setbacks, there is a stubborn resilience in you and your fellow workers. You see it in their faces, the grit, the determination to endure, to survive. Conversations during brief rests often turn to stories of near escapes from injury, moments of collapse followed by recovery, the quiet triumph of pushing through unbearable fatigue. Sometimes the body simply refuses to obey. You felt it yourself, the sudden cramp that seizes your calf, the tremor in your arms when they want to give out. Yet, with a deep breath and sheer willpower, you force movement forward, each step a testament to human endurance. In moments of weakness, you look to those around you for support. A fellow worker offers a steady hand, a quiet word of encouragement, or simply shares the burden of lifting a stone. There is a silent code among you, a recognition that survival depends on solidarity. The dust that fills the air scratches your throat and fills your lungs with every breath. Your skin is raw from the constant sun and coarse particles. Yet beneath the suffering, there is pride, a fierce pride in what you accomplish despite the toll. You remind yourself that this labor is sacred. Each ache, each failure, each injury is part of a greater purpose, to build a monument that will stand for eternity, to honor the pharaoh, and to maintain the balance of the world. As the sun dips toward the horizon and shadows lengthen, your body protests every movement. Still, you stand tall, bruised and battered, but unbroken. You wouldn't survive here without this fierce resilience, this stubborn will to endure. As the day begins to wane and the fiery sun sinks low toward the horizon, you find yourself drawn away from the clamor of work and the harsh demands of labor. A quiet moment settles over the sight, and the weight of what you do reveals itself in a different light, not just as toil and sweat, but as an act woven deeply into the fabric of belief and eternity. You sit beside an older worker, a man whose hands are as worn and scarred as your own, but whose eyes hold a calm that transcends the dust and heat. He begins to speak softly, weaving words that feel less like chatter and more like a thread, connecting you to the past and the divine. This pyramid, he says, his voice low and reverent, is not just stone and sweat. It is the stairway for the pharaoh's soul to journey into the afterlife. To build it is to help the gods themselves. You listen, feeling the weight of his words settle in your chest, like a steady drumbeat. The ancient Egyptians believed that death is not an end, but a passage, a transformation. The pharaoh, regarded as a living god, must ascend to join the gods of the sky and the underworld, to live forever among the stars and maintain the cosmic balance. The pyramid is his vessel, a tomb crafted with precision to ensure his safe passage. Each block, each carved detail, each alignment with the stars is a part of a sacred plan. It is the physical manifestation of a spiritual journey, a bridge between the mortal world and the eternal. You realize that your hands, rough and calloused, are helping shape this bridge. Your labor is more than muscle and motion. It is an offering, a prayer cast in stone. The worker shares stories passed down through generations, tales of the god Osiris, ruler of the afterlife, who judges the souls of the dead. The pyramid's chambers and passageways are designed to protect the pharaoh's spirit, to guard against evil forces, and to guide him safely through the underworld. The idea feels both humbling and awe-inspiring. Your work is connected to the sacred cycles of life, death, and rebirth. It is part of maintaining Ma'at, the cosmic order that ensures harmony in the world. You think about the statues and hieroglyphs you've seen, the intricate carvings that adorn temples and tombs. These are not mere decorations. They are prayers, spells, and maps to aid the departed on their journey. The worker points to the setting sun, casting a golden glow over the pyramid's face. See how the light touches the stones. It is a sign that the gods watch over us, that this work is blessed. You feel a surge of reverence, a connection that transcends the pain and exhaustion. This moment reminds you why, despite the hardships, you endure. Around you, other workers pause to offer quiet prayers or pour libations of water and beer onto the earth. Simple acts of devotion to the gods who oversee the land and the afterlife. The priest's chants float across the worksite, blending with the sounds of hammer and chisel. Their rituals sanctify the labor, infusing it with spiritual energy. As night begins to fall, the stars emerge, bright and countless, mirroring the stones of the pyramid. The sky becomes a vast map, and you imagine the pharaoh's spirit traveling among those celestial lights, guided by the gods. You feel a deep sense of purpose settle in your heart. The pyramid is not just a monument of stone. It is a testament to faith, to the endurance of belief across generations. Your role here is part of that sacred tradition, a thread in the vast tapestry of Egyptian life. Though your body aches and your breath is heavy, your spirit is lifted by this knowledge. You are not just building a tomb, you are helping the pharaoh ascend, maintaining the balance of the universe and connecting the mortal world to the divine. As darkness falls and the camp quiets, you lie beneath the endless stars, the pyramid looming nearby. The work of today feels distant now, replaced by a profound stillness. In this moment, you understand that your toil is eternal, your labor sacred. You wouldn't survive this task without this deep, unshakable faith. There comes a moment, perhaps sooner than you expect, when the weight of it all crashes down on you. The relentless heat, the aching muscles, the dust that never quite settles in your lungs. The endless rhythm of hammer and stone that grinds your spirit down. You feel it in your bones. This isn't just work. It's a trial that tests everything you thought you were made of. One morning, after another grueling day in the quarry, your body screams for rest, and your mind aches with frustration. You find yourself standing at the edge of the site, looking out over the desert sands that stretch endlessly beyond. The pyramid's sharp silhouette slices the sky, indifferent and imposing. You think, I can't do this anymore. The pain is too much, the exhaustion too deep. The sun has baked your skin to a raw, burning red. Your hands are cracked and bleeding, and your back feels as though it might snap under the weight of another block. You step back, away from the labor, away from the shouting overseers and the expectant eyes of your fellow workers. The thought of going home, back to your village, and the gentle rhythms of daily life floods your mind. You imagine the cool shade of the palm trees, the laughter of children, the smell of fresh bread baking in the ovens. But leaving means more than just walking away from a job. It means abandoning the sacred task you are bound to by duty and faith. It means the disapproval of the overseers, the disappointment of your comrades, and a stain on your honor. Yet the temptation to quit, to escape this relentless grind, grows louder with every aching breath. As you make your way toward the edge of the camp, a figure steps into your path, an older worker with a weathered face and steady eyes. He is someone you respect, a man who has endured many seasons of this labor. His presence is quiet but firm. You think you can just leave? He asks, his voice calm but edged with understanding. You shrug, unable to meet his gaze. I'm tired, it's too much, I can't keep going. He nods slowly, as if he expected this answer. This work is hard, harder than most can imagine, but we all carry it. We carry it because it is more than work. It is a calling, a duty to the gods and the pharaoh. You feel a swell of conflicting emotions, anger, shame, relief. You want to believe him, to find strength in his words, but the pain in your body and mind feels overwhelming. He places a firm hand on your shoulder. You'll get used to it, or you won't, but quitting isn't the answer. It's not about strength alone, it's about will to endure, to keep going when your body says stop. The moment stretches between you, heavy with unspoken truths. You realize he speaks from experience, not just of the work, but of the struggle within. You look back at the pyramid, its towering form etched against the sky, and suddenly the labor feels less like punishment and more like purpose. This monument is bigger than any one person. It is a legacy, a testament to your people's strength and faith. You think of your family, your village, the children who will grow under the shelter of this kingdom made possible by your hands. The thought steals your resolve. The older worker nods again and steps aside, letting you return to the worksite. You pick up your hammer, feeling its familiar weight in your hands. The pain and fatigue remain, but so does a flicker of something else: hope, determination, a fragile spark of endurance. You return to your place among the workers, the sounds and rhythm of labor enveloping you once more. The day stretches ahead, long and hard, but you carry a new understanding. The work is not just physical, it is a test of spirit. As the sun dips lower, the shadows lengthen, and you find yourself moving with a steady pace, no longer fighting the weariness, but accepting it as part of the journey. You wouldn't survive this life without that stubborn will to keep going, even when every part of you screams to stop. As the sun sets beyond the distant dunes, the bustling noise of the worksite slowly fades away. The once vibrant, sun-drenched world softens into gentle hues of twilight, lavenders blending into deep blues, and a cool breeze whispers softly across the sands. You step away from the heavy stones and worn tools, your body tired but soothed by the quiet that descends. The pyramid, now bathed in the soft glow of dusk, stands like a silent guardian against the darkening sky. Its immense shape is softened by shadows, the sharp edges mellowed into gentle slopes of stone that seem to hum with ancient energy. You feel a calm settling over you, a peacefulness that wraps around your shoulders like a soft cloak. You find a quiet spot nearby, a flat stone warmed by the fading sun, and sit down. The air cools pleasantly as night approaches, carrying with it the scent of dry earth and the faint sweetness of distant palms. Somewhere close, water flows gently, a quiet reminder of the life-giving Nile winding its way through the desert. As you lean back, the first stars begin to twinkle faintly in the darkening sky. Slowly, more and more appear, until the heavens become a vast tapestry of shimmering lights. The Milky Way stretches across the sky in a luminous band, a river of stars that seems to flow endlessly, connecting Earth to the cosmos. You gaze upward, feeling small but deeply connected. The ancient Egyptians believed these stars were the souls of the departed, watching over the living and guiding the pharaoh's spirit on its eternal journey. The night sky is not just beautiful, it is sacred, a celestial map that tells stories older than time. The cool air brushes softly over your skin, and the gentle hum of insects and distant animals begins, a lullaby of nature welcoming the night. The quiet is comforting, a contrast to the day's hard work. Here, under the endless sky, the world feels still and infinite. You breathe deeply, feeling the slow rise and fall of your chest as your body begins to relax. The aches and dust of the day fade into the background, replaced by a soothing calm. The stars twinkle steadily, their gentle light a quiet reminder of the vastness beyond. In the distance, a temple bell tolls softly, its deep tone blending with the whisper of the wind. Somewhere nearby, a lone flute plays a soft melody, a song of peace and rest. The sounds weave together into a gentle chorus that lulls your mind into a state of quiet reflection. As you close your eyes briefly, the pyramid's presence remains strong beside you, a steadfast monument to human endurance and faith. It seems to breathe with the earth, its stones warmed by centuries of sun and cooled by nights like this. You imagine the workers of long ago, like yourself, resting beneath this same sky, sharing stories, dreams, and quiet moments of wonder. Despite the hardships they faced, they found solace in nights like these, where the cosmos stretched endlessly above, full of mystery and hope. The gentle night breeze carries a faint scent of incense and myrrh, perhaps from an evening ritual at a nearby temple. The aroma is comforting, wrapping around you like a soft blanket, guiding you into deeper rest. The stars shift slowly as the night moves on, and you feel a peaceful rhythm in their slow dance, a cosmic heartbeat that calms your thoughts and quiets your worries. The pyramid stands silently beside you, timeless and serene. You imagine the pharaoh's spirit ascending along the pyramid's smooth sides, guided by these stars, moving toward the eternal afterlife. Your work here is part of that journey, your hands having helped shape the path to the heavens. The night deepens, and a gentle darkness blankets the desert. Your breathing slows further, your eyelids growing heavy. The world narrows to the soft sounds of night, the whispering wind, the distant call of an owl, the the steady pulse of your own heart. In this moment, surrounded by stone, stars, and silence, you feel a profound sense of peace. The hardships of the day are distant memories, replaced by the quiet comfort of night. You wouldn't survive the building of the pyramids without nights like these, nights that cradle you gently, reminding you of beauty, purpose, and the endless sky above. As sleep begins to take you, the stars remain watching, the pyramids standing guard, and the desert night humming its timeless lullaby. The cool night air carries a delicate stillness as you rest near the pyramid's towering base, gazing up at the star-speckled sky that stretches endlessly above. The great monument you helped build, stone by stone, stands quietly in the moonlight, a testament not just to the pharaoh's glory, but to the countless hands, backs, and hearts who shaped it. You think back over the years, how this labor shaped your body, your mind, and your place in the world. The early mornings, the long marches to the quarry, the rhythm of chisel and hammer, the sun's fiery gaze, and all the moments in between. The sweat and dust, the laughter shared in brief rest, the silent understanding that this work was more than a job, it was a shared journey. As time passed, you noticed your strength slowly ebbing. The young men still hauled the massive blocks, their bodies hardened like yours once were. But your arms, once strong and sure, have softened. Your joints ache more easily, your breath shortens faster in the heat. The work demands more than you can give now, and that's all right. In this ancient land, life flows with the seasons, and so does the work you do. When your body no longer answers the call of the quarry, your role shifts. You become a teacher, passing down knowledge of tools, techniques, and the sacred rhythms of labor to those just beginning their journey. Your hands, though no longer wielding hammer or sledge, guide the young with patient skill. Perhaps you help prepare the food that fuels the workforce, the sour beer brewed by women who understand the strength in every sip, the coarse bread baked in communal ovens. Your years of experience grant you a respected place in the village, where you tend fields, care for family, or craft simple tools. Your presence steadies the community, your stories weaving threads of history and meaning through generations. In quiet moments, you gather around fires with other elders, sharing tales of the pyramid's construction, how every block was a promise to the gods, how every day was a dance between hardship and hope. These stories are not just memories, they are lessons in endurance, faith, and belonging. The younger workers listen closely, their eyes wide with wonder and respect. They understand that their labor continues a tradition far greater than themselves. Your stories keep the spirit of the pyramid alive long after your hands have rested. Sometimes, you visit the pyramid at dusk, watching how the fading light softens the towering stones, how the stars begin their slow dance overhead. You imagine the pharaoh's spirit ascending along these stones, moving toward the eternal heavens. You feel a quiet pride in knowing that your work has helped carve this path. The village itself hums with life beyond the construction. The seasons turn, planting and harvest, festivals of joy and remembrance, days of quiet peace. Children run along the riverbanks, their laughter a soothing melody beneath the wide sky. Women gather to weave cloth, their nimble fingers creating patterns that tell stories of gods and ancestors. Life after the pyramid work is a gentle rhythm, a return to earth and family. Yet the memory of the labor remains a steady heartbeat beneath it all, a reminder that your hands shaped history. And even as your body weakens with age, the pyramid stands strong, immortal in stone and story. It is a monument not just to the pharaoh's power, but to the strength, resilience, and spirit of every worker who gave their days and nights to its creation. In this moment beneath the vast night sky, you understand that survival was never just about enduring the physical strain. It was about embracing the deeper meaning woven through each moment of your life. It was about belonging to something timeless, about becoming part of a story that reaches beyond years and generations. You wouldn't survive building the pyramids without this quiet, steady strength, the strength of heart, of purpose, and of connection to all who came before and all who will come after. As your eyelids grow heavy and sleep beckons, you feel the cool night air wrap around you like a soft blanket. The pyramid's steady silhouette watches over you, silent and eternal. The stars above twinkle with ancient light, and the desert night hums its timeless lullaby. You drift gently into sleep, carried by the weight of history, the peace of community, and the endless sky. You begin your day by reaching for the tools that will shape your work and ultimately the pyramid itself. The stone hammer rests comfortably in your hand, rough but familiar. Its handle is carved from sturdy palm wood, smoothed by countless hours of use and the warmth of your grip. The hammerhead is made from harder stone, chiseled carefully to create a solid striking surface. When you raise it and bring it down with purpose, you feel the satisfying weight behind each blow, a controlled force meant to chip away at the massive limestone blocks. Next to the hammer lies the copper chisel, slender and gleaming faintly in the morning light. Unlike the stone hammer, the copper chisel requires delicate handling and precision. Its edges are sharp, but copper is soft compared to modern steel, so it dulls quickly. You carefully tap it with a wooden mallet, also crafted from palm wood, striking rhythmically to split the stone in exactly the right places. The mallet's smooth surface is light yet sturdy, designed to deliver firm but measured impacts that don't damage the chisel. Nearby, thick ropes braided from flax fibers coil patiently, ready to bind heavy stones or fasten sledges. These ropes have a natural roughness, their intertwined strands strong enough to pull tons of limestone across desert sands. The sledges themselves are wooden platforms built low to the ground, their broad runners designed to glide over sand and mud. Sometimes workers pour water in front of the sledges, softening the earth to reduce friction and make the haul easier. Together, these tools form an essential toolkit passed down through generations. Each item is simple but effective, shaped with care and knowledge. You treat them with respect, knowing they are your partners in the immense task of building something that will last forever. The weight of your hammer grounds you, the handle fitting snugly in your palm like an old friend. You can feel every tiny groove in the wood, the grain running smoothly beneath your fingertips. When you swing the hammer, the force flows from your shoulders down through your arm, each strike echoing with a solid thunk as it meets stone. There is a rhythm to your work, steady, almost meditative, each tap deliberate, each chip of stone a small victory. The copper chisel in your other hand gleams faintly, its greenish patina a sign of many days spent working in the sun. Its edge bites into the limestone, and you tap carefully with the mallet, listening to the crisp sound of stone breaking away. The fine dust rises slowly, catching the light as it drifts around you, settling softly on your skin and clothes. The tools feel alive in your hands, extensions of your own body that transform raw rock into shaped blocks destined to become part of a great monument. The crafting and maintenance of these tools are as important as their use. Copper chisels need regular sharpening, ground against sandstone slabs until their edges regain their keen bite. You watch as the workers carefully file and polish each tool, sparks of patience and care flying with every stroke. The wooden handles are repaired or replaced when cracked or splintered, ensuring that no weakness slows the work. The sledges, too, are crafted from the flexible palm wood found near the Nile. You see the artisans shaping and assembling these simple yet sturdy platforms, smoothing the runners to glide smoothly over the desert sands. Ropes are braided tightly, flax fibers twisted by skilled hands, producing cords strong enough to bear the tremendous weight of massive limestone blocks. You handle these tools gently, knowing each is precious and vital for the day's labor. There is a rhythm to working with these tools, a harmony born of centuries of tradition. The hammer tapping steadily on stone, the chisel's sharp ring, the creak and scrape of sledges moving across sand, it all blends into a familiar song. You work with others, your movements synchronized without words. Sometimes a nod, a brief glance, a shared breath is enough to keep the rhythm going. The tools are the language you speak, the means by which you shape not only stone, but history itself. With every strike, every carefully guided cut, you feel connected to the builders who came before you and those who will follow, all part of a grand, enduring story carved in stone. Before the pyramid can rise into the sky, the very stones that will build it must be born from the earth. Imagine standing at the quarry at dawn, where the desert begins to wake in soft shades of pink and gold. The limestone cliffs tower before you, silent and patient, waiting to be transformed by skilled hands. This place is both harsh and sacred, where the raw materials of a dream take shape. Here your work is careful and deliberate. Each block must be freed from the rock face without flaw, shaped with precision to fit perfectly into the grand design. You arrive at the quarry just as the sun begins to rise, the sky a soft wash of pink and gold over the dusty landscape. The air is thick with the scent of dry stone and earth, mingled faintly with the crisp morning chill. Around you, workers have already gathered, their voices low and steady, tools in hand, ready to begin the day's labor. The limestone cliffs loom ahead, massive walls of pale rock waiting to be shaped and moved. You feel a quiet awe standing before them, knowing these stones will become part of something vast and eternal. As you step closer, dust rises softly beneath your feet, mingling with the rhythmic tapping of hammers and chisels echoing across the quarry. Each sound is precise, deliberate, a small percussion of progress that blends into a steady, soothing background hum. The limestone itself is cool and rough under your fingertips, flecked with tiny crystals that catch the light. You run your hand along the stone's surface, feeling the faint grain and slight imperfections that will guide your careful strikes. The work here requires patience and skill. Limestone is sturdy but not unyielding. Your job is to extract large blocks carefully, avoiding cracks that could weaken the stone or make it unusable. The master quarrymen teach you to identify natural fault lines and softer layers where a well-placed strike can split the rock cleanly. Your hammer and copper chisel become tools of precision, used not to bash blindly, but to coax the stone into releasing itself. You begin by marking out the block to be cut, tracing lines into the limestone with a sharpened piece of flint. The markings are guides, etched lightly but clearly, helping you keep your cuts straight and true. With steady hands, you tap the chisel along these lines, careful not to rush. Each tap chips away small fragments, the sound crisp and satisfying. Dust drifts upward with every strike, coating your skin and clothes in a fine powder that makes the heat of the day feel both closer and softer. When the block is nearly free, wooden wedges come into play. These are soaked in water, causing them to swell slowly, pushing apart the stone with quiet, irresistible force. You watch as tiny cracks widen, the block loosening gently from the quarry wall. The pace here is slower than the heavy hauling or stacking back at the pyramid, but it is no less demanding. It is a test of patience, precision, and respect for the stone's nature. Shaping the stone is an art in itself. Once the blocks are extracted, they are carefully dressed, smoothed and squared to fit perfectly into place. You use finer chisels to chip away rough edges, guiding your strikes to create smooth faces and sharp corners. The limestone feels cold and heavy in your hands, but also full of potential. With every tap and scrape, the raw, rugged rock becomes a polished block, ready to join its brothers in the grand construction. Your body moves with a steady rhythm, arms rising and falling as you shape each block. Sweat beads on your forehead, trickling slowly down your back, but the exertion feels purposeful, almost meditative. The dust in the air softens the bright sunlight, creating a hazy golden glow that bathes the quarry in warmth. Around you, the sounds of labor continue, the chipping stone, the occasional call between workers, the scrape of wooden sledges being prepared. You notice the camaraderie among the workers. Though the work is tough, there is a quiet pride in what you accomplish together. Sometimes a brief smile or a nod passes between you, an unspoken acknowledgement of the shared effort. You feel part of a living tradition, a chain of hands and hearts that stretch back through generations. The limestone blocks you help shape will travel many miles, from the quarry to the pyramid site, carried on sledges, floated down the Nile, and hauled over desert sands. Each block is a testament to the skill and care invested in its making, a piece of a larger whole that will stand for millennia. As the day wears on, your muscles grow tired, but your spirit remains steady. The quarry is demanding, but it offers moments of calm, times when the steady rhythm of hammer and chisel lets your mind wander, when the warm sun and cool breeze mingle on your skin. You breathe deeply, tasting the dry air and feeling connected to the earth beneath your feet. In the cool moments before dusk, you pause to look at the blocks you've helped free and shape. They lie in neat rows, waiting patiently for the next phase of their journey. The stone seems almost alive in the fading light, each block glowing softly, full of silent promise. You carry with you the knowledge that this work, this slow and careful shaping of stone, is a vital part of a story far greater than yourself. These blocks will become more than just rock. They will become the walls, the chambers, the very bones of the pyramid. And as you lay down your tools for the day, you feel a deep sense of belonging, a quiet pride in being part of something eternal. The journey of each limestone block does not end when it leaves the quarry. In fact, the real challenge begins here. Imagine yourself standing at the quarry's edge, watching as the carefully shaped blocks prepare for their slow, steady voyage across the desert toward the pyramid's growing base. The air is warm, the sun climbing higher, and the ground beneath your feet is soft with sand. The blocks are heavy beyond imagining, but you and your fellow workers are ready. Your strength and teamwork will move these stones closer to eternity. The blocks rest on sturdy wooden sledges, platforms made from palm wood, shaped and reinforced to bear tremendous weight. You run your hand along the smooth runners, feeling the grain of the wood beneath your fingertips, worn from countless journeys. Thick ropes braided from flax fibers are wrapped tightly around the blocks and sledges, securing them for the long trek. The ropes have a rough texture but strong resilience, a vital lifeline between stone and human effort. The journey begins slowly. You and your team gather around the sledge, pulling with measured strength. Your muscles strain with the weight, but your movements are steady, coordinated through years of practice and shared effort. You feel the sand shift beneath your feet with each step, the sled scraping softly as it slides forward. Sometimes, water is poured on the sand ahead of the sledge to reduce friction, creating a slick surface that makes the burden easier to bear. The cool moisture contrasts with the dry heat of the desert, a small relief in the demanding labor. The sound of wooden runners scraping over sand blends with the steady breathing and occasional calls between workers. It is a rhythm of unity and determination. You hear the creak of wood under pressure, the soft slap of rope against stone, and the steady footfalls of dozens of feet moving as one. The work is exhausting but purposeful, every inch gained bringing you closer to the pyramid's base. At times, the route takes you to the banks of the Nile, where barges await. The sight of the great river, calm and steady, offers a moment of peace amid the hard work. Loading the massive stones onto boats is a careful process. You help guide the blocks, steadying them as they are lifted or rolled onto the vessels. The smell of river water, reeds, and mud fills the air. The gentle sway of the barge contrasts with the harsh desert sun, and you feel the cool breeze rippling across the water, carrying away some of the day's weariness. Once across the Nile, the journey continues on foot and sledges, the desert stretching before you like an endless sea of sand. Your team takes breaks in the sparse shade of acacia trees or rocky outcrops, sharing water and simple bread. These moments are quiet, almost sacred, a time to rest and gather strength before the next push. Finally, the massive stones arrive at the pyramid site. You stand back for a moment, catching your breath as you watch the blocks piled near the base, ready to be hoisted into place. The sight fills you with awe. Each stone carries the weight of human effort, determination, and the hope of creating something eternal. The path from quarry to pyramid is long and difficult, but it is a vital journey, one that connects earth, water, and sky through the strength of many hands. As the sun dips low, casting long shadows across the desert, you feel a deep sense of satisfaction. The journey of each stone is a story of patience, coordination, and quiet endurance. And you are part of that story, moving slowly but surely toward a legacy carved in stone. The pyramid begins not as a towering monument, but as a simple outline on the desert floor, a promise etched into the earth. Imagine yourself standing at the base, feeling the sun warm your back and the soft crunch of sand beneath your feet. Each block you helped quarry and transport is now ready to take its place, stone by stone, rising slowly toward the sky. The work ahead is steady, careful, and full of quiet purpose. The construction site buzzes softly with movement. Ramps made of mud brick and limestone chips wind gently around the growing structure, creating paths for workers and sledges to haul stones upward. Scaffolding of wooden beams supports those who guide blocks into place far above. You watch as teams lift and push, their muscles straining but coordinated, pulling heavy loads with ropes and sheer will. The sound of workers' breaths, wooden beams creaking, and stone scraping against stone blends into a steady, calming rhythm. Each layer of the pyramid is built with meticulous precision. You help place each stone carefully, feeling the cool limestone settle against your hands. The blocks fit tightly together, no mortar needed, their edges smooth and exact. You check the alignment, making sure every stone matches the plans drawn out by the master builders. One small misstep could ripple through the entire structure, so patience and care are your closest companions. The sun moves slowly across the sky, casting shifting shadows on the pyramid's face. You feel the heat on your skin, the occasional breeze that cools your sweat, and the dust that clings softly to your clothes. Your body moves in rhythm with the work, lifting, adjusting, setting stones in place. There is a quiet pride in each successful placement, a sense of contributing to something larger than yourself. As the pyramid grows taller, the challenges increase. Ramps become steeper, the haul longer. You and your team adjust your pace, finding strength in steady breaths and shared effort. At times, you pause to look up at the structure, its sharp angles slicing the sky, the sun glinting off freshly set stones. The pyramid is no longer just a pile of blocks, but a rising testament to human resolve. At night, when the work slows and the desert cools, you rest near the base. The stars above are bright and constant, reflecting the careful geometry below. You think about the layers you helped build and the countless others who will follow, adding stones until the pyramid reaches its full, majestic height. The structure will stand long after you, a silent monument to the hands that shaped it and the dreams that built it. In this steady, patient work, you find a rhythm that carries you through the days. The pyramid grows, and with it, a connection to the earth, the sky, and the endless story written in stone. Before a single stone is set, the pyramid's place on the earth is chosen with care and reverence. Imagine standing under the wide Egyptian sky at dawn, the cool breeze carrying whispers of ancient wisdom. The desert around you stretches vast and quiet, and above, the stars begin to fade as the sun rises. The builders, priests, and astronomers gather, their eyes turned toward the heavens, seeking the perfect alignment that will connect the pyramid to the cosmos, to the gods, and to the eternal cycle of life and death. The ancient Egyptians possessed a deep understanding of the stars and the land. With simple but ingenious tools, a plumb line, a leveling instrument made from a wooden frame and water, and the steady eye of the master surveyor, they set out to align the pyramid's base precisely to the four cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. You watch as the surveyors mark out lines in the sand, using the sun's shadow and the stars' positions as guides. The air is still, filled with quiet concentration and the soft rustle of shifting sand. At night, the sky above reveals its secrets. You imagine the bright star Sirius rising just before dawn, a celestial herald signaling the start of the Nile's flooding. The pole star, nearly fixed in the northern sky, serves as a steadfast point of reference. Using these stars, the builders ensure the pyramid's faces are perfectly oriented, anchoring the structure in cosmic harmony. This alignment is no mere practical detail, it is a spiritual act, connecting the pharaoh's eternal resting place to the heavens and the god's realm. The pyramid's shape itself is laden with meaning. Its four triangular faces are said to represent the descending rays of the sun, guiding the pharaoh's soul upward to join the sun god Ra. The sharp apex points to the sky, a silent invitation to the divine. As you stand beside the slowly rising pyramid, you feel this sacred symbolism infuse every stone, every angle. Without modern instruments, this precision is awe-inspiring. You imagine the patience and skill needed, measuring shadows at noon, watching stars wheel across the night sky, adjusting lines in the sand. The work is slow and careful, demanding both knowledge and reverence. Each measurement is checked and rechecked, the stakes impossibly high. You feel a quiet wonder knowing that you are part of a project that not only shapes stone, but also bridges earth and sky, mortal and divine. The pyramid will stand for millennia, a silent monument aligned with the eternal rhythms of nature and cosmos. As dusk falls and the desert cools, you gaze upward at the stars emerging one by one. The pyramid silhouette is stark against the night, perfectly aligned and waiting. In this moment, all the labor, the sweat, and the dust seem to fade, replaced by a deep, timeless connection to something greater. You carry this piece with you as you rest, wrapped in the stillness of the desert night, knowing that the pyramid is more than stone. It is a bridge between worlds, a testament to human hope reaching toward the infinite. You find yourself walking away from the dust and clamor of the construction site, stepping into the quieter spaces where the lives of those who build the pyramid unfold. The sun is warm but softened by a gentle breeze, carrying the scent of baked earth, fresh barley, and wild herbs growing near the Nile. Around you, simple huts made from mud bricks cluster in small villages, home to the workers and their families. Here, life moves at a slower, steadier pace than the relentless labor of the pyramid itself, yet it is deeply intertwined with the great project. You notice the daily rituals unfolding with calm regularity. Women gather by the river, their hands skillfully weaving baskets from palm fronds and reeds. Their fingers move deftly, creating containers for food and tools essential for the workdays ahead. Children play nearby, their laughter light and carefree despite the seriousness of the world around them. They chase small birds or dip their toes in the cool water, momentarily free from the weight of adult responsibilities. The workers themselves rest during the hottest part of the day, seeking shade beneath date palms or the eaves of huts. They eat simple meals, coarse bread made from barley or emmer wheat, a bowl of lentils, and occasionally a bit of salted fish brought in from the Nile. You taste the dryness of the bread, the earthiness of the lentils, the saltiness that lingers on your tongue. These meals sustain strength, but are humble, shared among friends with quiet conversation. Music and song drift softly through the air, a low murmur that blends with the rustle of leaves and the gentle lap of river water. Sometimes a flute's delicate notes rise, or a group hums an ancient melody, their voices rising and falling in harmony with the Nile's steady flow. These sounds bring comfort and connection, reminders of community and continuity amid the toil. Daily life is marked by tasks small and large. You see men repairing tools, their hands steady and sure as they sharpen chisels or weave new ropes. Women grind grain with heavy stones, the rhythmic back and forth a steady heartbeat of labor. The scent of herbs and spices, cumin, coriander, mixes with smoke from cooking fires, grounding you in this world of simple but vital routines. The sun arcs high and the heat thickens, but the people move with practiced ease, adjusting to the rhythms of the day. There is no rush, only steady, patient motion, each action contributing to the great task in its own quiet way. Time feels expansive here, measured by the flow of the Nile and the cycles of the seasons rather than clocks or calendars. As evening approaches, the village gathers around small fires. Stories are told, tales of gods and kings, of distant lands and heroic deeds. You listen as the voices weave a tapestry of meaning, linking the workers' lives to the eternal stories carved in stone and memory. The flickering firelight casts gentle shadows, dancing softly on faces tired but content. Before sleep, you lie under a vast, star-studded sky. The cool desert night wraps around you like a soft blanket. The pyramid stands silent nearby, its silhouette a dark sentinel against the twinkling heavens. You breathe deeply, feeling the steady pulse of life, of earth, stone, water, and sky, all connected through the people, the work, and the land. In this moment, you rest peacefully, wrapped in the gentle embrace of a world where great dreams are built one quiet day at a time. You settle down near the base of the pyramid as the sun dips low, casting long shadows that stretch across the desert floor. Around you, the air cools and softens, carrying a faint scent of incense and crushed lotus flowers. The great stone structure towers silently, its sharp angles cutting a timeless silhouette against the fading sky. You feel the weight of something ancient here, not just the heavy blocks of limestone, but the stories and beliefs that gave birth to this immense project. The pyramids are more than stone and sweat. They are sacred gateways, bridges between the world of the living and the realm beyond. Imagine standing in the quiet presence of priests and workers alike, each holding their own reverence for what the pyramid represents. The pharaoh, they say, is not merely a ruler but a god on earth, destined to join the sun god Ra in the afterlife. Every stone you helped carve and carry is part of a vessel designed to protect and guide his spirit. Around you, the sounds of ritual float softly, the low chant of temple hymns, the gentle clinking of ceremonial bells, the rustle of linen robes. Priests perform sacred rites to bless the stones, to call on the gods to watch over the king's journey after death. You imagine the careful placing of offerings, bread, beer, flowers, and incense, gifts to ensure safe passage through the afterlife's mysteries. The pyramid itself is a symbol, its shape deeply connected to the sun's rays. The four triangular faces are said to mimic the descending light of the sun god, leading the pharaoh's soul upwards. The alignment with the stars is no accident, but a deliberate weaving of earthly construction and celestial order. You look up, tracing the path of bright stars, imagining how ancient eyes saw patterns that guided this colossal endeavor. Life and death here are intertwined in cycles and stories that echo through the generations. You hear whispers of Osiris, god of the afterlife, and Isis, his devoted wife, weaving tales of rebirth and eternal life. These myths give meaning to the exhausting labor, transforming sweat and stone into acts of faith and hope. At the end of the day, you feel a profound connection, not only to the physical work, but to the spiritual heart beating beneath it all. The pyramid is a monument not just to power or permanence, but to the belief that life continues beyond what the eye can see. It is a silent promise carved in stone, a prayer set against the vast desert sky. As the stars emerge one by one, you close your eyes and breathe deeply. The cool night wraps around you like a soft cloak, and you drift gently into rest, cradled by the endless rhythms of earth, spirit, and sky. Before the first block is set in place, an unseen structure holds the entire project together. The intricate web of people, roles, and routines that make the pyramid possible. Imagine stepping into this living, breathing community early in the morning. The sun is just rising, soft light filtering over the camp as workers gather, ready to begin their day. It's not just strength that shapes the pyramid, it's the careful coordination of thousands of hands and hearts working in harmony. This chapter explores the quiet order behind the monumental effort. You find yourself amid the steady hum of the construction site once again. But this time, you observe not just the stones and tools, but the people and the quiet order that keeps everything moving forward. The pyramid is not built by one person or even a few. It is the result of thousands working together in harmony, each playing a role essential to the whole. Imagine the rhythm of their footsteps, the soft murmur of voices, and the gentle coordination that makes the impossible possible. As the morning light filters through the dust, overseers and foremen guide teams with calm authority. They carry staffs of office, symbols of responsibility, but their commands are gentle nudges rather than harsh orders. You watch as workers fall into groups, those who quarry stone, those who transport it, others who shape and place each block with care. There is a sense of shared purpose that flows beneath the surface, a quiet understanding that everyone's effort matters. Each team has its own rhythm and routine. You see the skilled artisans sharpening tools and carving intricate details for the pyramid's inner chambers. Nearby, the laborers haul heavy stones, their movements synchronized through subtle signals and practiced timing. The foremen use simple gestures or brief words to coordinate, keeping the work steady and safe. There is no rush, only a steady, patient progress shaped by experience and respect. The workers themselves are not slaves, but valued members of the community. Many are farmers who take part in the construction during the Nile's flood season when their fields lie underwater. This seasonal rhythm ties their lives to the land and the pyramid project alike. You feel the quiet pride in their steady work, a contribution not just to a monument, but to the enduring culture of their people. Breaks are shared moments of connection. Workers gather in the shade, sharing food and stories, their voices low and warm. You hear laughter mingling with the clink of pottery and the rustle of woven baskets. These moments restore strength and spirit, reinforcing the bonds that make teamwork possible. The overseers watch with a soft smile, understanding that the heart of the work is in these human connections as much as in stone and sweat. The organization extends beyond the workers. Craftsmen create tools and construct scaffolding, cooks prepare nourishing meals, scribes record progress and manage supplies. Every role fits into a larger whole, like threads woven into a tapestry. You see how this network of people transforms the daunting task into a shared journey, steady and purposeful. As the day fades and the desert cools, the teams gather for a final moment. The pyramid stands taller, its smooth face catching the last light. You feel the quiet satisfaction in knowing you are part of something greater, a living, breathing community dedicated to creating a lasting legacy. The gentle order of the site is like a heartbeat, steady and sure, guiding the pyramid's slow rise toward the sky. With this peaceful rhythm settling into your bones, you rest beneath the stars, wrapped in the calm certainty that comes from shared effort and ancient purpose. In the rhythm of a long workday, the quiet moments of rest and nourishment are precious. Imagine sitting down in the shade as the sun reaches its highest point, feeling the cool breeze brush against your skin. The sounds of the construction fade to a gentle murmur, replaced by the soft rustle of woven baskets and the careful clinking of pottery. Here, in these small pauses, you and your fellow workers regain strength through simple but vital meals, fuel that sustains the body and soothes the spirit. Your meal begins with coarse bread made from barley or emmer wheat, its rough texture grounding you in the earth's bounty. You break off a piece, feeling the grainy surface crumble lightly between your fingers. The bread is dense and filling, perfect for sustaining long hours of labor. Alongside it, you sip a small bowl of sour beer, a mildly fermented, nutritious drink that quenches thirst and provides gentle energy. Its taste is earthy and faintly sweet, a comforting contrast to the dry desert air. Vegetables and legumes complement your meal. Lentils, chickpeas, and onions are common staples, simmered slowly over smoky fires. Their warm, hearty flavors fill your mouth and warm your belly. Occasionally, salted fish from the Nile adds a touch of protein, its briny flavor lingering softly. You savor these flavors slowly, appreciating the nourishment they provide for your heavy work. You notice the care taken in preparing these meals. Women grind grain on large stone querns, their steady hands turning rough kernels into fine flour. Firewood is gathered thoughtfully to keep cooking steady but safe. There is a rhythm to this work, much like the labor at the pyramid, a gentle dance of preparation and sustenance. Food is shared communally, laid out on mats or in simple bowls. The act of eating together is a quiet celebration of fellowship and endurance. Conversations drift gently, stories shared in low tones, laughter mingling with the crackle of fires. These moments are more than rest. They are a thread weaving the community closer, a small harbor in the vast desert day. Even as the sun moves westward and the meal ends, the nourishment lingers, not just in your body, but in the warmth of connection and the quiet rhythm of daily life. With strength renewed, you return to your place among the stones, ready to continue the slow, steady work of building something eternal. You find yourself on the outskirts of a quiet village near the pyramid, the evening sun casting a warm, golden light over the land. The workday has ended, and the air is filled with a gentle anticipation, a time when the community gathers not for labor, but for celebration and remembrance. Around you, soft music begins to play, the delicate notes of flutes mingling with the rhythmic beat of drums, creating a soothing soundscape that drifts through the cooling desert air. The festivals here are not loud or hurried, but slow, graceful rituals rooted deeply in belief and respect. People dress in simple, yet elegant linen garments, adorned with small garlands of flowers and fragrant oils. You watch as elders light small fires and incense, the smoke curling upward in thin spirals, carrying prayers to the gods and the spirit of the pharaoh, whose pyramid rises nearby. These ceremonies honor the journey of the king into the afterlife, a voyage believed to be filled with challenges but also promises of eternal life among the stars. Priests chant softly, their voices weaving ancient hymns that tell of rebirth and protection. You feel the calm power of these words, their gentle cadence wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Families gather, sharing food and drink that have been prepared with care, sweet dates, roasted grains, and cool water from the Nile. Children listen quietly to stories of gods like Osiris and Isis, heroes of death and resurrection, their wide eyes reflecting flickering firelight. The atmosphere is one of quiet joy and reverence, a space where the past and future meet. As night deepens, the pyramid itself seems to glow under the light of countless stars. The sacred geometry of its form mirrors the heavens above, a silent promise that the pharaoh's spirit will rise and join the eternal dance of the cosmos. You breathe in the cool night air, feeling a deep connection to the land, the people, and the timeless rhythms that bind them all. In this peaceful moment, surrounded by gentle music, flickering flames, and soft voices, you find rest. The story of the pyramid, its stones, its builders, its rituals, settles softly within you, a quiet lullaby from an ancient time. You close your eyes, wrapped in the calm embrace of the desert night, carrying the weight and wonder of a civilization that reached for eternity. The landscape around you is vast and open, the sun low as it dips toward the horizon. The Nile River, a ribbon of life winding through the desert, moves slowly but surely, its waters swelling with the promise of renewal. You stand on the riverbank, feeling the soft breeze carrying the scent of damp earth and fresh greenery. This great river shapes everything, the land, the people, and the very rhythm of life in ancient Egypt. Each year, the Nile follows a steady, predictable cycle. For months, its waters rise, flooding the surrounding fields and turning dry desert into fertile land. This annual inundation is a quiet miracle, washing rich silt over the earth, making it ready to grow crops once the waters recede. You watch as the water slowly spreads, a shimmering mirror reflecting the vast sky above. It is both a gentle flood and a powerful force, essential to the survival of all who live here. For the farmers, this time is both a pause and a preparation. Fields lie underwater, and the usual work must wait. Yet this pause in farming is not idle. It is a season of planning, rest, and other tasks. It is during this time that many take part in grand projects like the pyramid construction. The flood season aligns naturally with the labor demands, providing workers to the great building efforts without pulling them away from essential farming during the growing seasons. You imagine the rhythm of life governed by this great cycle, planting after the floodwaters recede, tending the crops as they grow, harvesting under the hot sun, then preparing for the flood's return. The people have long adapted their lives to this natural flow, creating a harmony between themselves and the land that sustains them. The inundation also brings changes to the surrounding environment. Birds return in flocks, their calls filling the air with soft melodies. Fish swim closer to shore, and reeds and papyrus plants thrive along the banks, their green stalks swaying gently. The land feels alive and refreshed, a stark contrast to the dry desert beyond the floodplain. At the worksite near the pyramid, this seasonal rhythm shapes the labor force. During the flood, the fields are submerged, freeing the hands and hearts of many to join the construction. You see groups of workers arriving from villages along the Nile, their faces lined with the calm determination of those accustomed to the land's cycles. Their participation is not forced, but a shared effort, an offering to the pharaoh and the gods, ensuring balance and favor in the coming seasons. Even the tools and routines adapt to the seasons. Wet mud is easier to shape for bricks, and the abundance of water makes transportation along the river simpler. Boats laden with stone and supplies glide gently on the calm waters, moving steadily toward the pyramid site. The Nile becomes a quiet highway, connecting distant quarries and villages in a network of life and labor. As the floodwaters slowly retreat, new challenges emerge. The land, newly silted and fertile, demands attention. Farmers return to their fields with hope and care, while others remain to continue the pyramid's slow ascent. This transition is a delicate dance, balancing the needs of daily survival with the monumental task of building a legacy. At night, you rest under the wide sky, listening to the sounds of water lapping gently along the shore, the distant calls of nocturnal birds, and the soft murmurs of a community bound by land and river. The flood's rhythm beats softly through the seasons, a quiet heartbeat that connects you to the earth, the people, and the enduring story of the pyramids. In this harmony of water and stone, life and labor, you find a gentle peace, a reminder that even the greatest monuments are born from the patient, steady cycles of nature and human hands working as one. The sun rises gently over the dusty horizon, casting a soft golden light on the bustling village near the pyramid site. Amid the steady rhythm of laborers hauling stones and the low murmur of conversation, another world quietly hums, a world of skill, patience, and artistry. You step closer to a shaded workshop where skilled craftsmen shape the finer details of the pyramid, bringing life and meaning to the vast stones with careful hands and practiced eyes. These craftsmen are the artists of ancient Egypt, the delicate touch behind the grandeur. While the laborers provide strength and endurance, the carvers, painters, and scribes bring precision, symbolism, and record-keeping to the project. Their work is quieter, slower, but no less vital, weaving beauty and order into the pyramid's enduring form. You watch a stone carver at work. His hands are steady and sure, moving with a calm grace over the limestone blocks. Using chisels made from copper and stone, he chips away carefully, shaping hieroglyphs and intricate patterns that will tell stories for thousands of years. Each stroke is deliberate, slow, echoing a deep understanding of both the material and the sacred symbols he inscribes. Dust rises softly, settling like a gentle veil around the workshop. The carvers are masters of patience. Their work demands not only skill, but reverence. They are not just decorating stone. They are creating messages to the gods, prayers etched in permanence. The symbols speak of gods and kings, of the journey to the afterlife, and of the eternal order that the pharaoh embodies. You sense a quiet pride in their steady work, a dedication to both craft and meaning. Nearby, painters prepare pigments from natural minerals, red ochre, malachite green, and deep lapis lazuli blue. They mix powders with water and binders, creating colors that will brighten the pyramids' inner chambers and tombs. You watch as a painter delicately applies these hues to carved scenes, bringing gods and pharaohs to life with every brushstroke. The colors are rich but muted, softened by time, yet still vibrant in the calm light of the workshop. The painters work with patience and care, their movements slow and deliberate. The scenes they create are more than decoration. They are sacred images meant to protect and guide the pharaoh's spirit. The walls tell stories of triumph, protection, and eternal life. You feel a sense of quiet reverence as you observe the transformation of bare stone into a living narrative. In another corner, scribes sit with reed brushes and papyrus scrolls, recording details of the construction, quantities of stone moved, workers' names, supplies delivered. Their role is vital, though less visible. With practice strokes, they keep the pyramid's progress organized, ensuring that the massive project stays on course. The scribes are scholars, custodians of knowledge, and their work provides a calm order behind the daily bustle. You imagine the quiet intensity of their work, pen moving steadily across papyrus, soft scratching sounds blending with the ambient noise of the village. Their records are meticulous, a living ledger of effort and time, linking past and present through careful documentation. The craftsmen share a bond of focus and purpose, each contributing their unique skill to the pyramid's completion. Their work requires steady hands, sharp minds, and a deep respect for tradition. You feel the calm discipline in the way they move and work. No rush, no urgency, just patient dedication to their sacred tasks. As the sun moves higher, the workshops fill with a warm glow. Shadows lengthen and retreat, marking the passage of time with quiet certainty. You notice how the craftsmen take moments of rest, stretching tired fingers, sharing a word or two with neighbors, breathing in the warm air. These pauses are small oases of calm amid their concentrated labor. The tools they use are simple yet effective: chisels, brushes, reed pens, and palettes, all fashioned with care. You run your fingers over the smooth handle of a chisel, feeling the coolness of polished stone and metal. Each tool is an extension of the craftsman's will, a bridge between mind and matter. In the evenings, when the work slows, the craftsmen gather to share stories and lessons, passing down knowledge from master to apprentice. You listen as tales of ancient techniques and divine inspiration flow gently through the group, a quiet transmission of wisdom that will endure long after the stones are set. You breathe deeply, absorbing the steady calm of this world, where art and labor meet in quiet harmony, creating beauty that will last millennia. The craftsmen's patient hands shape not only stone and pigment, but the very spirit of the pyramid itself. As night falls and stars begin to sparkle above the desert, you feel a gentle connection to these artisans, keepers of tradition, storytellers in stone and color, and calm witnesses to the enduring legacy of an ancient civilization. Wrapped in this peaceful awareness, you close your eyes, letting the soft rhythm of their work lull you toward rest. The sun has risen fully now, spilling a warm golden light over the bustling town near the pyramid. You wander slowly through the narrow, dusty streets, feeling the hum of daily life surrounding you like a gentle current. Beyond the monumental stones of the pyramid itself, life pulses quietly in small homes, marketplaces, and along the Nile's banks, weaving a soft tapestry of human rhythm and routine. Your feet crunch softly on packed earth as you pass simple houses made from sun-baked mud bricks, their flat roofs edged with wooden beams. Smoke rises in thin spirals from cooking fires, mingling with the scents of fresh bread, herbs, and the river's coolness. Small courtyards burst with green, potted plants, vines creeping along walls, and fragrant flowers like jasmine and lotus, their petals open to the morning light. Inside, families begin their day with gentle routines. Women sweep courtyards with palm fronds, their movements slow and deliberate. Men prepare for work, whether tending fields, crafting goods, or heading toward the pyramid site. Children play quietly in shaded corners, their laughter soft and carefree. The pace of life here feels measured, shaped by the sun's arc and the river's flow. You hear the call of merchants setting up stalls in the marketplace, brightly woven fabrics, pottery glazed in soft earth tones, baskets full of dates and figs. The air is rich with mingled scents: freshly baked bread, dried fish, fragrant oils, and spices like coriander and cumin. Traders arrange their goods with care, offering gentle greetings and quiet negotiations. The marketplace is a gentle symphony of voices, footsteps, and the soft rustling of cloth and straw. Clothing here is simple but elegant, suited to the warm climate. Linen garments drape softly on the body, tunics, kilts, and shawls dyed in muted hues of white, ochre, and soft blues. Jewelry made from beads, faience, and copper glints faintly in the sun. You imagine how these pieces reflect both practical needs and personal expression, carrying meanings of status, profession, and protection. Daily life moves in cycles. Morning chores give way to midday rest as the sun climbs high. Families gather to share meals: flatbread dipped in honey, small portions of roasted vegetables, and bowls of cooling water. The warmth of community fills these moments, quiet conversations blending with the gentle buzz of the town. As afternoon approaches, you notice craftsmen at work: potters shaping clay on wheels, weavers creating fine textiles, and metalworkers hammering delicate copper pieces. Their focus is calm and steady, the rhythms of their work weaving seamlessly into the town's fabric. Children watch with wide eyes, learning through observation and gentle instruction. Near the river, fishermen prepare nets and small boats, their movements practiced and sure. The water glimmers softly, reflecting the sky's pale blue. Along the banks, farmers tend vegetable gardens: onions, leeks, lettuce, nurturing the earth with quiet care. The connection to the land and water feels intimate, a gentle partnership between people and nature. As the sun begins to lower, families light small fires and gather in courtyards, sharing stories and songs passed down through generations. The evening air cools, carrying the faint fragrance of incense and blooming night flowers. Lanterns flicker softly, casting warm pools of light that dance on the walls. You feel the slow passage of time here, marked not by clocks, but by sun and shadow, by the flow of the Nile and the cycles of planting and harvest. Life is woven with care, each day a quiet balance of work, rest, and connection. In this calm, enduring world, the pyramid stands nearby, not just as a monument of stone, but as a silent guardian of the lives unfolding around it. Its shadow stretches softly across fields and homes, a reminder of timeless presence and purpose. As night falls and stars scatter across the sky, you find a place to rest among the gentle sounds of the town settling down. The soft murmur of voices fades into quiet, and the steady rhythm of life lulls you toward peaceful sleep. As you stand before the Great Pyramid, its towering silhouette soft against the pale morning sky, you begin to notice the subtle harmony woven into its very shape and form. This is no mere building of stone. It is a monument layered with meaning, designed with care to echo the rhythms of the cosmos and the beliefs of a civilization reaching for eternity. The pyramid's smooth, triangular faces rise with quiet certainty, each side aligned almost perfectly with the four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. You imagine how this precise orientation connects the structure to the world beyond, linking earth to sky, day to night, and life to the vast cycles of time. Its shape, a square base with four triangular sides meeting at a point, holds deep symbolism. The pyramid is often seen as a representation of the rays of the sun descending to earth. The ancient Egyptians believed the sun god Ra was the source of all life and power, and the pyramid's form honors his light, guiding the pharaoh's spirit upward toward the heavens. You run your fingers gently along the smooth limestone blocks, feeling the cool surface warmed slightly by the sun. Each stone is carefully placed, fitting with precision and care, like a giant puzzle crafted with both skill and sacred intent. The effort to create such perfect alignment and balance speaks to the profound reverence the builders held for this structure. Inside the pyramid, you imagine chambers and passageways designed not just for burial, but for the pharaoh's soul to navigate the afterlife. These inner spaces are decorated with intricate carvings and paintings, hieroglyphs that tell stories of gods, journeys, and protection. Every symbol is deliberate, a silent prayer carved into stone. The pyramid's height and grandeur also convey power and permanence. It stands as a testament to the pharaoh's eternal reign, a bridge between mortal life and divine eternity. From a distance, it dominates the landscape, its sharp edges catching the changing light of dawn and dusk, reminding all who see it of the sacred order it represents. Beyond the structure itself, the surrounding complex adds layers of meaning. Temples, causeways, and smaller tombs form a sacred landscape, each part connected in purpose and design. The causeway leading to the pyramid is a path of transition from the world of the living to the realm of the gods. Walking along it, you feel a slow, meditative journey, a passage through time and spirit. The pyramid's base is a foundation not only of stone, but of cosmic harmony. Some scholars suggest its dimensions reflect mathematical and astronomical knowledge, encoding the cycles of the sun, moon, and stars within its walls. This connection between science and spirituality reveals the ancient Egyptians' desire to align human life with universal rhythms. At sunset, the pyramid glows softly, bathed in the warm amber light. Its shadow stretches long and peaceful across the desert floor, merging gently with the cooling earth. In this quiet moment, you sense the deep stillness that surrounds the monument, a stillness that has persisted for thousands of years. You close your eyes, imagining the pyramid as a silent guardian, watching over the land and its people. Its presence is a calm reminder of balance, order, and the enduring cycle of life and death. In its shadow, you feel a soothing sense of continuity, a connection to something greater than yourself. The pyramid's architecture is more than stone and design. It is a gentle expression of hope, faith, and the human desire to touch eternity. As you breathe slowly and deeply, the soft whisper of history and belief settles around you like a comforting cloak. With the stars beginning to twinkle overhead, you rest in this peaceful space, cradled by the quiet geometry of the pyramid, wrapped in the calm of ancient wisdom and lulled toward restful sleep. As night deepens over the desert, the pyramid stands silent beneath a vast canopy of stars, its sharp silhouette softened by moonlight. You feel yourself drawn into a quiet world where life and death blend softly, and the ancient Egyptians' deepest hopes and beliefs unfold like a gentle story whispered through time. The pharaoh's journey after death was never seen as an end, but a transition, a passage from the earthly realm to the eternal. The pyramid you have come to know so well is not merely a tomb, but a sacred vessel, designed to guide and protect the pharaoh's soul on this profound voyage. In the stillness of the night, you imagine the pharaoh's spirit, called the Ka, rising from the body, eager to begin its journey. This spirit is one part of the soul, representing life force and essence, tied to the physical form, but able to travel beyond it. The pyramid acts as a home, a sanctuary where the Ka can return and find sustenance through offerings left by loved ones. Another part of the soul, the Ba, is freer, often imagined as a bird with a human head, able to travel between worlds. The Ba ventures out into the skies, across the stars, seeking to join the gods and explore the vast afterlife. The pyramid's architecture, with its carefully planned chambers and passageways, serves as a map and protector for this spiritual navigation. You envision priests and family members performing rituals beside the pyramid, their voices low and steady as they chant spells from the Book of the Dead, a collection of sacred texts meant to guide the pharaoh safely through the challenges ahead. These words are not hurried or fearful, but calm and deliberate, weaving protection and blessing into the fabric of the night. The journey to the afterlife is seen as both a physical and spiritual passage. The pharaoh must navigate trials, encounters with gods, moral tests, and transformations before reaching the field of reeds, a peaceful paradise where life continues in harmony and abundance. The pyramid's inner chambers hold depictions of these trials, carved and painted with care to instruct and comfort. At the heart of the pyramid lies the burial chamber, a quiet, sacred space where the pharaoh's body rests surrounded by treasures, offerings, and amulets. These items are not mere possessions, but vital tools and protections for the soul's journey. You imagine the soft glow of oil lamps illuminating the chamber, their flickering light casting dancing shadows on the walls. The entire pyramid complex is part of a larger cosmic order, mirroring the heavens and aligning with stars believed to be gateways to the afterlife. The pharaoh's soul aspires to join the circumpolar stars, those that never set, symbolizing eternity and unending life. The pyramid, standing firmly on earth yet reaching toward the sky, embodies this profound hope. As the night deepens, you feel a gentle calm wash over you, a soothing sense of connection to these ancient beliefs. The pharaoh's journey is not a lonely one, but a passage embraced by community, ritual, and faith. It is a cycle of renewal, echoing the rhythms of the Nile and the stars. You breathe slowly, letting the quiet strength of this story settle within. The pyramid's stones, worn by time but steadfast, hold the secrets of life, death, and rebirth, a timeless lullaby whispered across millennia. In this peaceful embrace, you close your eyes, resting in the knowledge that life flows gently onward, carried by faith, hope, and the enduring spirit of a civilization that sought to touch eternity. The sun has climbed higher now, its warm light spreading slowly across the sands and the bustling worksite. Around you, the air carries a quiet hum, the soft scrape of stone on stone, the murmur of voices, and the occasional gentle clatter of tools. Here, every movement seems purposeful but unhurried, a slow rhythm that marks the passage of the day. You notice how the workers move with practiced ease, their bodies attuned to the steady demands of the task. Their clothes, simple linen tunics, flutter lightly in the breeze, and their feet sink softly into the warm earth with each step. Their faces are calm, touched by sweat and dust, but marked by a quiet resolve. This is not a world of frantic haste, but of patient endurance. When the sun grows fierce overhead, the workers seek moments of reprieve beneath the shade of low stone walls or under makeshift shelters woven from reeds. They sit quietly, sharing small meals of flatbread, dried fish, and fresh dates, the flavors earthy and simple, yet sustaining. There is no rush, only the gentle sharing of sustenance and the comfort of companionship. You sense a subtle ritual in their daily lives, a shared understanding that each block moved and each chisel stroke brings them closer to something far greater than themselves. Conversations are soft, often revolving around family, the river, and the stories passed down by elders. Occasionally, laughter bubbles up, light and fleeting, a small gift amidst the hard work. In the evenings, as the sun dips low, the air cools and the desert sky turns soft shades of pink and purple. The workers gather near the riverbank, where the water flows calm and steady. Some wash the day's dust from their skin, feeling the coolness seep into tired muscles. Others sit in small circles, recounting tales of gods and heroes, their voices low and soothing beneath the vast sky. The connection to the land and river feels profound, an unspoken bond that carries through each day and night. The Nile is not just a source of water, but a silent witness to their toil, its steady flow, a reminder of life's persistence and renewal. As you listen, the gentle lapping of the river mingles with the soft rustle of palm leaves, creating a lullaby of nature that invites rest. Before night fully settles, some workers offer quiet prayers or place small tokens by the stones they have worked on, a pebble, a sprig of lotus, or a handful of river silt. These humble offerings are gestures of respect, seeking protection and blessing for both the structure and those who build it. You feel the reverence in these acts, simple yet deeply meaningful. Under the stars, the camp becomes a sanctuary of peace. Lanterns glow softly, casting warm pools of light that dance on the faces of those gathered. Stories continue, weaving a tapestry of memory and hope, linking past and future in gentle continuity. You sense the comfort these moments bring, a calm conclusion to a day shaped by effort and care. As you breathe deeply, the slow rhythm of this ancient world settles around you like a soft blanket. The steady pulse of life, work, and belief weaves through time, carrying with it a quiet strength that echoes in your own heart. Now, let yourself drift with this calm, carrying the stories and the spirit of the pyramid builders into your dreams. As night deepens over the desert and stars begin to twinkle softly in the vast sky above, you find yourself wrapped in the quiet embrace of a world both ancient and timeless. The story of the pyramids, those monumental stones that have stood for thousands of years, now rests gently in your mind like a soft whisper carried on a gentle breeze. You've journeyed alongside the people who built these great structures, ordinary lives filled with extraordinary purpose. From the early morning light, when the workers stirred beneath the rising sun, to the slow, steady rhythm of stone shaping and hauling, you witnessed a world where patience, community, and belief blended together like the warm colors of the desert dawn. In these moments of quiet reflection, it becomes clear that the pyramids are more than mere monuments of stone. They are living stories, tales of human endurance, faith, and the longing to touch something eternal. Each stone placed with care, each symbol carved into the walls, carries with it the weight of hopes, dreams, and the steady heartbeat of generations long past. Imagine again the workers resting in the shade, sharing simple meals of coarse bread and sour beer, their laughter soft and their conversations low. These moments, brief as they are, form the gentle fabric of daily life, a life closely tied to the flow of the Nile and the passing seasons. The river, ever steady, shaped not only the land but the rhythm of their days, bringing both challenge and renewal. You might picture the skilled hands of the craftsmen, carvers, painters, scribes, moving slowly and deliberately, infusing the stone with meaning and the stories of gods, kings, and the journey beyond this life. Their art is a quiet prayer, a testament to the sacredness of the task, and a calm legacy that endures beyond time. As the sun faded and the desert cooled, the community gathered for festivals and rituals, soft music, flickering fires, and whispered chants echoing beneath the stars. These gatherings were not just celebrations, but acts of remembrance and hope, linking the living with the divine and the eternal. Now, as you breathe deeply in and out, you feel a gentle stillness settle within you. The steady hands that built these wonders remind you that great things grow from patience and care, not haste or force. The pyramids teach us about connection to the earth beneath our feet, the sky above, and the unseen threads tying past and present. In the quiet of the night, the pyramid stands as a silent guardian, its sharp angles softened by moonlight. Its presence is a calm reminder of balance and order, a testament to the human desire to reach beyond ourselves and leave a lasting mark. Here stone meets spirit, earth meets sky, and the cycle of life continues. You may sense the soft echo of the pharaoh's journey, the soul rising gently beyond the mortal realm, guided by sacred texts and the watchful stars. This voyage is one of transformation, renewal, and eternal peace, mirrored by the slow, steady work of those who made the pyramid a home for this sacred passage. In this peaceful embrace, you are invited to rest. The warm desert night wraps around you like a soft blanket, carrying the quiet stories of a civilization that sought harmony with the cosmos and each other. Let these stories lull you into calmness, carrying you softly towards sleep. As you close your eyes, imagine the cool stones beneath your fingertips, the distant murmur of the Nile, and the gentle flicker of stars above. Let these sensations blend with your breath, steady and slow, a gentle rhythm to ease your mind and soothe your body. Sleep now, cradled by the timeless legacy of the pyramids, symbols of hope, faith, and human connection across the ages. May their quiet strength inspire your dreams and bring peace to your heart. Good night.